Ever since Primarina was discovered in Regulation H, players were always arguing whether or not it's a fraudulent Pokemon. Well, it's consistently been in the top of usage charts, so surely it's not a fraud. Well, the rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than you might expect. In order to fully understand the controversy, we must first understand why Primarina was even used in the first place. Regulation H was the format after Regulation G, which you would know if you could sing the alphabet. Opposite to the alphabet, however, Regulation H removed Pokemon from the format, not built upon it. Every format in Scarlet and Violet before this added a new Pokemon, meaning that the power level was steadily increased. However, Regulation H discontinued this trend by removing all legendary and paradox Pokemon. Urshifu, the water type that everyone relied on so much, was now gone. With Urshifu gone, players needed another water type attacker, and looking through our options, well, they weren't great. Palafin was the obvious answer, but with Incineroar and Rillaboom now in the game, it was a lot harder to use. The other obvious answer is Basculegion, but Basculegion is really bad into Kingambit, one of the top Pokemon. So, players decided to use Primarina. After all, there isn't many good fairy attackers in the format either, so you can kill two birds with one stone. But if you've been paying attention, you realize that Primarina isn't the first choice, or the second. Players aren't using it because it's good, they're using it because there really isn't anything better. This is where the debate about whether Primarina is a fraud or not comes in. The argument for Primarina's fraudulism is that it's only good because of its typing and ability, and its stats are lackluster. Along with this, it doesn't really feel that intuitive to play, since it doesn't really excel in any areas. Additionally, it doesn't have one clear set it wants to run. Its lackluster bulk also contributes to its fraudulent stats, since it can't really take many hits. Usually, Primarina items include Life Orb, Mystic Water, Citrus Berry, Choice Specs, and sometimes Throat Spray. The issue is that with the damage increasing items, it can't survive long enough for you to really get value out of it. But with the survivability increasing items, it doesn't do enough damage to be valuable. On the other side of the argument, Primarina's typing is very good and has very good synergy with one another. Offensively, no type resists both water and fairy, meaning it's very rare to be resisted with both types. Amoonguss is one of the only relevant Pokemon that resists both of Primarina's attacks, but many Amoonguss run only Pollen Puff as their attacking move, meaning that you can actually win the 1v1 if the Amoonguss has taken some chip damage. On top of this, Primarina also gets the move Haze, allowing it to shut down Dondozo teams and other annoying teams that rely on stat boosts. It's uncommon to find a Pokemon that makes great use of Haze, but recently Dragonite has popped up, but that's a video for another day. Primarina has a middling speed stat, which may sound like a downside, but it can actually be taken advantage of. Many of the top teams that Primarina is good on have a Trick Room option, meaning it can use its underwhelming speed to its advantage. However, it's not so slow that it relies on Trick Room to be out. Hatterene, for example, is never seen outside of Trick Room, but Primarina can be used in more versatile ways. All in all, Primarina is a Pokemon that many consider to be fraudulent, but it has many advantages to it, causing a pretty significant divide in the community. Primarina will continue to be considered fraudulent, and players will continue to dispute this, but all it comes down to is what kind of Pokemon your team needs. Thank you all for watching.